Hello, my creative friends. You probably saw a little post that I posted on the socials that talked about this particular little cardigan that I came across at a secondhand store. And it's just a very inexpensive price, and I was out looking for something that I could actually create wearable art, things that I could that weren't expensive and that I felt like I could do something with, whether it's painted or add fabric or whatever. And this I found. And then I had the struggle of, oh, it's so beautiful. And I hated to add anything to it because I felt like it was it was so usable for so many different things. And that's where my practical brain will step in and say, don't add anything to it. Does that ever happen to you? Do you ever find that happening? Yes, it does happen to me. It's where and that's probably one of the things that creates the greatest amount of procrastination in my work, is that my practical brain steps in. So let's take a second here. I've decided to throw caution to the wind and just have fun with it, because nothing is ever in stone. If I don't like it, I realized you can just take it off. Just take it off, Kathy. It's not going to hurt anything. All right. So then I expressed or told you about this particular piece of a blouse that I had, a shirt that I had years ago. I mean, years ago. You know, I loved this shirt. I love this shirt, this blouse, this top. It's not really a blouse, but this whatever. I loved it. I wish I had like 5 more of them. But anyway, I am working on this, and I went ahead and cut part of what you see here. It had this wonderful trim at the bottom of all this wonderful work right here. And so the problem with the top is it's gotten some fading, some bleaching out. And so I'm going to use what I can out of it and enjoy it. Give it a second life, right? Now, what I've done here is, when I was holding this up the other night and talking about it, I just happened to lay this across the top of the not at the very tip top, but up here across this. And I love the way it just flowed. And so I've got another idea to continue it. What I'm going to do is go ahead right now and separate. Let's see if these scissors will work. Don't have my fabric scissors over here in this studio with me, but I'm going to just cut this, separate it from the top itself. I also think it'd be interesting because some of this thread over here is still in beautiful condition. I wonder, how obviously things can unravel. I don't know, that thought crossed my mind. Maybe I can repurpose the thread and use it. I don't know. We'll experiment, right? Okay, we're going to cut this up. This is not typically the medium I work in, right? You always see me, I'm either doing acrylics or watercolor, even collage with paper. Occasionally, I'll do fabric, and it really all goes in, I think, seasons of my mood. How am I feeling at the time? What do I feel like? And that's what I love about art, is you can, look at this is so awesome. I've almost got this separated. That first cut is always the scariest, isn't it? All right. Now, what I have here is the complete piece of the bottom. And some sides are faded, so we'll use the opposite side, which obviously is not. Look how beautiful and vibrant that is. I should even take a peek at this one. That's the same with this. switch these around because the inside is still very much alive in color. I'm going to pin these down. I'm using safety pins just because I won't lose the pin as I walk around with it. This is such a loose weave that a straight pin, I was thinking, might just fall out easily. Okay, and this one, let me separate a little bit. Pull it down. When you're working, you're thinking about, I'm always thinking about the composition of how does it flow, because you're trying to take the eye on a journey. You want it to look at everything, but how do you want it to flow? And this color being the most dominant or brightest, you might say at the time, it's going to catch your attention, and then it just sort of flows down. From there, we can work it down here. Sure, where I stuck that other one. Here's the other one. If you want more, you could place one up here, but I believe it'll be a little bit brighter color I want to put up here. I'm always drawn towards bright colors. Now, this is bigger than this area I have to show you, but we'll make it work. So this comes all the way down like so, and I'm thinking it would be very interesting to pick it up on this side. And maybe that's where these little extras, they can kind of just blossom themselves right down this direction. Let's go ahead. I'm going to cut this. Separate that. And I want to work around towards the back also. And I'm going to cut out around here. One, it looks like it's dirtied or something on that top piece, so we're going to get rid of those. This will be an ongoing project. That's something I think important, is to have a couple of different projects going at one time. Because you might feel like working on one and then picking up on working on another. Okay, I'm thinking I might take that one off. Use it either up here at the top or bring it down more and let this So we've got that heavy seam right there. We're going to separate that. Get rid of that heavy seam. Okay, we've got these pieces. Incorporate some of that up here at the top. That little bit of pink. Or take it off. You know, I'm going to play with it a little bit. I'm going to see what it looks like. So I've got that up there, or I'm going to come through here. I'm going to leave some of this crocheting, whatever this is, in between. But these little pieces that are sticking out, we're going to just trim them off and get rid of them. So I'll be going through that and deciding which ones. Probably these that are just hanging out with no place to go. Let's see. This one, we can go ahead and cut that one completely off. I think it's nice to have the flower shape separated in some areas. I know these are quite large scissors, so I'm being a little more careful than I did with the small ones. Okay, we got up here too. Just cut that. Cut these edges. What project are you working on? Think, oh, that looks really interesting. I'd like to try that. I do every so often, and I'll try it. If I like it, I continue making more. If not, it's like, well, I'm glad I tried that. I don't know that I'll do any more of those. But you don't know until you try. So that's the key. Let's see here. It popped right off. All right. So I'll continue working on that. This is going to be a work in progress. Now, the interesting for me is usually when I start a project, it's like I want to get it done, so I focus until I get it done. But this one, I feel like this needs to grow and just take its little time. See, we're gonna bring that here. A lot of it is playing back and forth with the placement. It's gonna be the important part. So many good memories from this little outfit. I remember when I got it, I was going to a women's luncheon. I only knew the hostess, the one who was who was doing it. I didn't know anybody else there, but it was a lot of fun. And we had kind of a traumatic experience in our family right previous to that. So I really wanted to get out and just try to get on with life a little bit. And I needed a break. And it was a lot of fun to do. And anyway, this is the outfit I wore. It had a darling skirt. Don't even know what happened to that. It was so long ago. I'll just be taking my time. I won't be boring you sitting here as I'm... But some of that is to just cut that out so that I have more of the actual outlines rather than... Okay, so you can see my thought is I'm going to have it flow down through the front, and then this large piece will actually take off from the front here. I'll be tacking all this down. A couple of these, let's see. There's so many different things we can do. Looked like there was a stain actually on here, and I was looking at it thinking, well, I could put something else over that. Like here's a pink flower that's really too large, but one of these little things might just be nice. Something like that. Attach it to that end and cut it off there. Let's do that. Off right there. And if that feels like a mistake, then we'll just sew it back on. There. I'm going to go ahead and pin that down. This will be stitched. Might even hang out over further. Or else we'll go like that. We'll play with it a little bit. This is still in the beginning stages of figuring all the parts out. Okay, take that off. What I'll do is I will tack this over a little further. I think that would be what I'd rather do. Because I don't want to, if I put this on there, it's like a wall. And my whole purpose is for this to flow down into here. So that's how we'll do that. Then it continues on around. Around to the back. Where it goes most of the back, I'm going to be taking some of this and cutting off, going around the flower and graduating that back up. That's my thought process there. And we could leave it like that, or, well, this goes on. You just have to play with it and see. I think it would be good. I think I would like this, not good, but I think I would like it to have some of these. This is heavy. I feel like this needs to be cut. Like that. Kind of graduate it down. And then this right here, find the brighter side, which I think is this side, yes. These could be cut out and sprinkled back up. So let's start here, this green one. That one actually undid, so I'll be making sure I catch that. It's amazing to me how the light, just being in the light, not direct sunlight, but the light has actually faded some of these. I don't want just a blob of this, do I? Let's cut this one out and we'll see what happens. Get rid of the square feeling. All right. That's starting to cut this right off. There we go. Sometimes you just have to make the bold move, you know? I'm not sure what's going to happen. Just do it. Then we can kind of spread this out. Like that. Off camera, aren't I? Whoop. I hit my camera, that's what I did. There we go. Just cut that off, do the bold move there. And keep this up here so it helps me to see a little better. I'm wanting to bring it back up. We got this wonderful trim, but don't think I'll be using it up there. Oh, maybe around the collar of the top? Might be interesting. And then with this one, might attach it to go that direction. Now that's all great, but personally, I feel like it's a waste because for me, my hair is always covering the back. So that's an option, though. Maybe we go back down this way. Now that's an idea. Right there. See that? Thinking I can even bring this in and attach it. Move this over. Let's go with this end. Like that. This can move down a little bit further. I used to have a dress form. I loaned it out and it got ruined. Coming back and forth. There we go. Gonna move this up just a teeny bit. There. Some of this I could cut away just so I don't want this straight line across there. You want it to really be flowing. Could even tack it down and expand it out. Okay, there is, so far, our plan. That cord is right there. Sorry about that, but ooh, I like that. And I can actually just see maybe a little bead work on it, like a little bead on there. Wouldn't that be pretty? Ooh, I love it. And then here in the back, this could get this we'd have to play with a little more and just see. Maybe we keep it down towards the bottom. Got this down towards the bottom. Can even move it up. I will move it up because I want that bottom of this to show. That's very pretty, the scalloping of that. So this will go higher. It's just a little work in progress. You just have to work at it and work at it till it comes the way you'd like to see it. That's what design is all about. Keeping this side because this is where the flowers are the brightest. Attach that in here like that. Cut this off. Bring it down. Fill this one in. Bring that one up. And bring that one down. Bring that up a little higher. I'm getting away from just the straight band going across the back. This I like. There. I don't know. You just start playing. See what pops up. Let's go ahead and pin this down though. I think this looks great. We can end that with a little flower there. I think I'll come up with something better. He belongs up here. Bring that one in here. Pieces of this. Instead of it just abruptly ending right there. Bring that on like that. Maybe put that underneath. Like that. Possibilities. Okay, so now I'm going to pause for a moment. We'll stop here for today, and I'll come back on making a little video as I progress, but I'm going to leave it like this just to examine it a little more, think about it. Goes around like that, and then it will come back to the front. This is really pretty. I like how these are sticking up just like that, just like the little flowers coming up out of the bottom. And then this side, comes down like that. And this side won't have anything on the bottom because it'll be flowing this way. There we go. Okay, I'll come back and we'll see what else we can add to it. Maybe some changes. I may start stitching this and then add more to it. It's going to be a work in progress. So keep tuning back and we'll see what happens with this. Thanks for joining me. You guys have a wonderful